Comic-Con again. Yeah, Comic-Con International has extended its agreement. Look, they do this every so many years. Everybody else but the Comic-Con organization understands that you cannot grow that event in San Diego, and it has gotten out of hand. But they've announced that they will be there and through 2027. So some palms were greased and money on the table was given, because it's not that it's in a better venue. It's not that they're not over gouging all of the participants to show up at that event. They've outgrown that San Diego Convention Center for about a decade now. And I've never seen a business model ever where you don't grow. You don't look for active growth. You're like, no, we're good to stay in this situation and things like that. More and more, we've been at Comic-Con. I've been going to Comic-Con for almost 25 years now. So I can let you know that we were there in the beginning when it was about comics and it was affordable to go down there. You could get a day down there, spend a little money. Now it's almost like if you're thinking about either you're going to go to Comic-Con or you're going to go to Disney World, but you ain't doing both. So it's just kind of gotten out of hand. I don't want to see it continue where it's at. I think Las Vegas would be a very good environment for it, especially with all the themes and everything that's going on in Las Vegas right now. We've always at Los Angeles, look, at one point they had a bid there and they were talking about giving them, at the time it was named the Staples Center, but now it's called Crypto.com. But they were talking about also loaning that to them for their Hall H scenarios. So again, I don't understand it. What are you guys' feelings on?
Well, who benefits from it, from staying in San Diego?
San Diego.
Okay. And who makes the decision to keep it in San Diego?
San Diego organization. Most of the people live in San Diego too.
So I don't know. Someone representing the city of San Diego has a conversation with somebody who makes the decision to keep San Diego Comic-Con there, and handshakes are made and other things, and that's why we are where we are. I'm not going to false accuse anything, but we all know how the business world operates, and a lot of hotels depend on that money. The city depends on that money every year, and if they were to leave San Diego, it would make a massive strain and economic impact. So the decision makers are not just making the decision because they want to do what's best for San Diego. They are doing it because there's some benefit to make the decision there. And what that is, we don't know, but one can assume.
All I know is that Comic-Con is on the heels of Diamond Distributors.
Yeah.
So you are playing with fire, acting like you know what the people want. You don't. People don't want to be crammed in sardines and have stupid fire people yelling at you to not stand on the wall and don't do this, and you can't go over there, and you can't drink water from the left side because it poisons you from the right side. And there's so much shit that goes on at Comic-Con. And the reality is that you said no more Hall H, and then you just did Hall H. So now we're at this point where, listen, you got your shit till 2027. But that does not mean that somebody won't come up with something that is more entertaining and has more space and is more true to the culture than San Diego Comic-Con is right now. Now, I love San Diego Comic-Con. I've got a history there. I haven't been as long as everyone else here. I think my first time was officially 2013, maybe 2012. So you guys all have a greater experience in terms of when it was comics and when you could go around, and it made sense and it wasn't busy as hell. But my thing is, and Crooked Smile said this shit and I laughed, because the reality is even in my time of going to Comic-Con, they want to put this in San Diego, but they don't do anything to upkeep it. They just come in and do an overnight cleaning, and then they don't. And so all I'm saying is this: you got till 2027, right? But then if we rewind 4 years ago, they had till 2024. Then it was 2025. Now it's 2027, and they're on the heels of bankruptcy and potential bankruptcy, like Diamond is right now. And Diamond said never happened, right? Comic-Con will say never happened. But what if somebody comes up with a convention that is just that much better? And I'm not talking about LA Comic-Con, because they're already outpricing themselves to shut down in a year. I'm talking about like someone that takes the heart and soul of Comic-Con, listens to everybody that's bitching about Comic-Con, and just creates that convention somewhere that has the capacity to be able to do it. That's the problem with Comic-Con. They're not paying attention. They're not. And you know, unfortunately they do have their pockets run deep, and that's an issue, but someone's going to do it better.
It's a cultural thing for the city too, I think, because it's been there its entire existence. And when you say Comic-Con, people automatically think San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And, you know, for them, I understand why they're fighting to keep it, but they should maybe do some things with the infrastructure in the city to make it able to handle bigger crowds. Because if you've gone, you know, it's a nightmare to get there. It's a nightmare once you're there, and it's a nightmare to leave. So, you know, it's something that it's like if the Rose Parade was not held in Pasadena at the Rose Bowl.
Yeah,
right. It's like it has to be. What?
Yeah.
You can't take it away. So I think that a lot of people feel like that's San Diego Comic-Con. You can't take it away from San Diego. Yeah. But I think it has outgrown the city, unfortunately.
Well, so another point is they made this announcement, right? But if you applied for professional badges, they haven't even gotten back to you yet.
Yeah.
So, like, where's your priority here? Why are you announcing this shit, but you can't? You're going to release the passes for everybody, but you have all these companies and people that are trying to figure out, did I get pro badges before I have to buy other badges? And it's like, you don't give a shit because you're not letting everybody know, when previously you used to let everyone know like months ahead of time. So they didn't have to worry about buying like individual badges. And it's like know your audience. Like nobody right now that is waiting for pro badges gives a shit that you signed till 2027.
Yeah.
They give a shit that shit's in July. We're rounding out the mid-January here. People don't know, and you're already releasing tickets. Like, okay,
yeah.
Cool.
And Crystal Smile said the Emerald City has surpassed San Diego, and I think look, either you adapt and grow, or you're gone. And we start off the show with adapt and grow, and you're gone.